Welcome, one and all, to opening day right here on the Hockey Happy Hour. And we are live from the Real Talk Studios right here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I am Matt Sensuti, and right over here is the Penguin-loving Michael Klankoff.
Let's go.
Probably wishing he didn't miss the end of that Penguin season
1-0,
opener.
1-0.
And right on over here is the Darkwing himself, Mr. Brian Daly.
What up, what up?
Yes, and joining us in the studio, the man, the myth, the legend, back in the saddle again for opening day, Mr. Rob, the Povia.
Thank you, guys.
Hey,
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
Welcome
it.
back. I like it.
I just want to applaud you guys with what you've been doing with the show. Not only keeping it going, but keeping it thriving, but even just excelling, man. You guys have been awesome. I've been watching every week, and with opening night, you know I had to be here.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. When you said to me, like, hey, what if I hop onto the show for season opener, it wasn't even a second pass before I said, yes, of course we got to do it this way. What better way to do it for season opening?
There's always an open seat. I mean, usually it's Racky sitting there, but we could always have a Rob sitting there every once in a while,
He's sitting
too,
up
so.
here on the front of the table.
Yeah.
He wanted a front row seat to the Flyers.
Listen, we
opening
always got a
season.
spot for Recky. We'll find a
Yeah,
spot
of
for
course.
Recky.
Yeah,
And
we
he
got
deserved
a
it.
spot
Rex.
for Perron right up here on the goat wall, and we got another goat right over there on Recky, right on over there. So, like we said before, it is the opening game of the regular season. It is finally here. Finally, I can stop freaking scratching after all these weeks of fiending out hockey. But with that, before we dive into the game and everything, we just want to let everybody know that the Hockey Happy Hour is brought to you by Skinzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.skinzanosports.com.
I missed that slam.
Oh, all right. Are you
It
guys
hurts my hand every time. And I'm not even doing it.
Hey, listen, I got to get my hand to work out in other ways than just slamming it on a table. So, you know.
Fair enough.
His hand's numb to it. All the nerves in his hands are dead.
He doesn't even feel it anymore.
No,
No.
not
I've been doing
really.
it for years.
Yeah, I have been, actually. Hard to believe that. All because Noah did it once, and ever since then I had to do it. Ever since then, one fucking time. By the way, we got Ryan Brodo behind the board, and he has officially aligned himself with a hockey brand as he is sporting a beautiful Guinness hockey jersey behind the boards. I wish you all could see it, by the way. It is a
Best
beaut.
beer.
Only the finest of the brands.
Got it while he was over in Ireland, actually. So, you know,
Sweet.
it's one of the most legit jerseys you can see right now.
I knew he was in Ireland. I just didn't know he got the jersey from there.
Hey,
Awesome.
this was
Yes. He kept
like
teasing at me with
Kept it on the down low.
Yeah. Yeah, he's officially been activated.
he's now a hockey fan.
Bro,
Hey, we started this last week, man. I would hope it would continue.
Brodo came off the active injury reserve, and now he's back in the saddle again.
The Daniel Bryan of hockey.
Yes.
Frank Vespi, Frank wants you to model off the jersey real quick.
Get in front of the camera, damn it. It doesn't matter. Pick one. Pick one.
If the
All
right,
Flyers
sounds
win
good.
tonight-
Fair enough.
Okay,
Sounds good.
so if the Flyers win, then you all get a treat. You get to see Brodo's jersey. There we go. It's not the 2 points that the Flyers get in the standing. It's really Brodo. That's the reason why the Flyers have to win tonight.
Let's go, Brodo.
Do it.
All right. So I'm pretty sure you guys are pumped and ready because I sure as hell
Yeah.
am. I've been waiting for this day for quite some time, and the Flyers are facing the other half of the Stanley Cup final. These guys face the other half of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
The winning half, we take the losing half.
You know what
on
is
this
impressive,
particular-
though, about Washington? They put up 13 goals in 2 games so far.
Christ.
So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty freaking phenomenal.
Oh,
No cup hangover there.
Yeah,
Let's say-
exactly. You would have thought they shot the low last night, winning 7-0 against Boston, and then to come back and score another 6 against Pittsburgh tonight.
Did Ovechkin score any
Pretty-
goals?
He
scored one last night.
Yeah,
I don't know
power
if he
play.
got.
I'm just wondering because I'm pretty sure he's still got to be hungover after celebrating all that. I mean, seriously, that guy was probably drinking for a good 4 or 5 weeks.
Who wouldn't?
Good for him.
Probably,
Yeah, I mean,
probably that straight like vodka too, not the Smirnoff shit, not mixing it nothing. He's just taking it with not even rocks. He's not even putting it on the fucking rocks. He's just going to take that shit straight, one right after the other. He's like, I'm Stanley Cup champ. Fuck you, Crosby. That's probably what he's saying every night.
Crosby's over there shining like this. That's what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I got 3. Sorry I didn't win the 3rd one in a row, but, you know.
Oh, Christ. Thank God. If you had won 3 in a row, it would be unbearable. Like, seriously. Just honest to God.
Well, the last 3 champs coming from the Metropolitan, so
That
speaks
is
well volumes for our division.
That's true.
Hey.
Hey, maybe the Flyers can be the next one in line. That would be nice.
Well, I mean, you got to figure it's going to be the Metro next. I mean, they're probably the most competitive division.
Probably.
And we broke down the division over the last few weeks.
Well,
playoff teams.
Hold on.
Right.
Don't. One thing I will say is don't discount Atlantic because they have 2 teams that are capable of beating all the teams that you can list right now that make the playoffs for the Metropolitan. So I wouldn't sleep on those 2 at all.
Absolutely.
And the only 2 that I'm talking about, in case you haven't figured it out, is Tampa Bay and Toronto at this point in time.
And Toronto looked damn good last night.
Yes, they did.
Minus the fact that it took overtime to win that game, but other than that, I mean, Johnny T scores a goal. Austin Matthews looks phenomenal as he always does in opening day games.
Montreal's offensive defense isn't the team that they were.
No.
But they still have Carey Price in net, and Carey Price looks like he's 100% healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, that was the scary position that, Montreal could be. That's why we were talking about if Montreal could be a little dangerous if Carey Price was playing full force.
Absolutely.
And the starting goalies for tonight, in case anyone didn't look ahead, it is Marc-Andre Fleury, your one and only favorite of all time, I would assume, who is in net for the Vegas Golden Knights. No surprise. And, of course, we have our starter, Brian Elliott, our 2-year rental, continuing his trek through his tour and duty in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, we got a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah, and apparently I only got half of them.
Oh, you do? All right, you want me to start it off?
Yeah, start it off, brother.
I got Tom Arnone coming in. Yes, let's go, boys. Greg Milakovic saying, yes, 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 they better. I took Maddie's advice and bet them tonight. Let's go.
Mistake number 1, Greg. Taking Maddie's advice.
Well, hold on. This is about hockey. This isn't about something else. Christ, Jesus.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what the advice is about.
Why did you sound like you were Irish when you said that? You didn't even sound like The Rock.
It's the jersey.
I wasn't trying. No. It is a jersey. It's the Irish feel in the room now because of the jersey.
Oh, it's all
Brodo
because
has.
of Brodo. Okay, so we blame Brodo for that.
Maybe one day he'll unveil himself.
Damn it, Brodo. You bring the jersey. It looks awesome, and now look what you've just, allowed. You've unleashed this upon us now.
I think it's because
Damn it, Dale.
It's because he doesn't have any pants on. That's why he's scared to come in front of the camera. Tom Arnone comes back. Best hockey show in the biz. Welcome back, Pove.
Well,
of course, welcome back. Great to have you again.
Hey, wait a minute. You know what, though? To increase our female viewing, Brodo, get your ass in front of that camera.
Listen, if this is what it takes, take one for the team.
Yes.
No, don't worry about it. Stephanie Hoover's got that covered. She's bringing in the females in.
That's fine.
That is true. She is.
Probably the best female Flyers fan I've ever. Well, I don't really know her. I mean, know through the groups and what have you. But
but she always asks great questions, and she's always bringing forth the knowledge. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
definitely, which is very good.
So
my dad comes in and says, "Penguins, hi guys."
Oh my God.
Oh, God, Wayne Newton looks terrible.
Wayne Newton, and is that Little John next to him?
Real quick.
Yeah!
What's the over/under on the amount of the pregame, event that's going to go on before this game actually puck drops?
There's probably some.
Hour?
There's probably like 15, 20,
I mean, we're already at 10-12. When was puck drop supposed to be? Look at this. What is that?
We got freaking, people diving from the ceiling.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. We got the night guy.
Why do I know
that? If she busts her ass, it would be a horrible, auspicious start of things to come. Oh, the Knight dropped something.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's the season they're going to have. It's official. It's going to be the curse of the Golden Knight.
Oh, it's the ceremonial puck.
He dropped the puck. That's what he did. Oh, that's bad omen right there. I got a good feeling now.
Wayne Newton looks like a doll. He really does. He looks like a real-life Ken doll.
That's what
Cheesy Wayne.
That's what happens when you have liposuction like 5 or 50 million times. Or a few Botoxes going on.
No, Wayne knows,
Giroux
right.
almost won the face-off, but, I mean, shit, he should be beating a defenseman. No, I'm kidding.
That's your old boy there, Derek England, right there. What are you talking about?
I enjoyed his stay when he was with Pittsburgh too, but let me get back to some of these comments.
Yeah,
Does
definitely.
Wayne even know who the hell Little John is?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well,
Anyway.
considering Little John's a resident of Las Vegas, he should. But
They're probably neighbors. What are you talking about?
Comments?
Yeah,
what were the comments?
We got a lot. Let me get back to him. Frank Vespi coming in. I really hope so. Brian, I would like to thank the Ducks for beating the Sharks and that awful Joe Thornton. Rosca says hello. Frank comes back. Oh, shit. Hey, sorry to bother you at work. As he always does, sorry to bother you at work.
Always bothering us at work, not on our free time. Jesus Christ, Frank.
I got too excited for the season opener and Rob's return. Welcome back, Pove. Tom Arnone, let's go. Tons of energy. Roscoe, what's up, guys? Ducks are 1-0-0.
That's right.
Correct.
We are undefeated.
Yeah. Rob comes in, or another Rob says, Jalen Mills ain't on Tom's goat wall, question mark. I don't think we're going to see him on the goat wall anytime soon here.
Although, surprisingly, you can still see the Colt McCoy jersey here.
Colt McCoy.
Shocking.
Colt McCoy, it would be LaShawn McCoy.
Oh, my bad.
Colt McCoy was the really good quarterback that played for
Hey,
the
listen,
Browns.
I don't know shit about football in case you haven't figured it out,
Nah.
so you know what? Feel free
And
to correct me.
I could have told you he was really good, and you probably could have believed me, but he's really not.
Don't worry. You know what I do, and that's I butcher hockey names, so I'll make you look real good in about 5-10 minutes.
Jeff Barral says, hey, hell yeah, we are winning season opener 4-2 Fly Guys.
There we
I
go.
like that prediction.
I like that prediction,
Team
too.
pride coming out. That's what we're talking about here.
Not just fanfare, but that's a good, accurate score.
Will Pierce says yes, 5-3. Vespi says show to Jersey. Jeff comes back. Did the guy in the pit jersey lose a bet? No, I am a Pittsburgh fan, as Maddie said in the opening. Everybody says that. We get a couple times a year where people will think, I lost a bet.
Yeah, it's
But,
a national station. We got to represent the whole NHL here,
Yeah, I got the West Coast covered.
Yeah, you
The
do.
rest of these guys
And I'm
got
sure
the East Coast covered.
He's hoping the Flyers will lose. He's hoping the Flyers will win because he can't stand the Golden Knights.
Right.
So, and me
So it's
and
a 3 versus 1 tonight.
Pretty
in my
much, yeah,
situation,
pretty
so
much. Actually, no, it is 4 versus
4.
1 because Brodo. So there we go.
If
That's
you
a power play I
consider
can get
it.
behind.
Mike Parker
Hey, now.
says, Brodo, do a Vespi. Vespi says, do a Vespi. Parker comes back and said, Brodo, do a Vespi. Vespi says, do it, do it.
Oh my God.
Do it.
This isn't like
Vespi
heel
says,
Vespi either.
Get your do a Vespi chance going.
Vespi.
All right, I'm tired of reading do a Vespi. So every one of those comments, I'm just
skip
skipping
ahead
over.
now.
My dad said 1 goal for Oven Chicken. So he does have 1 goal in a year. I don't know if it was tonight or in yesterday's game.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Power play.
Rosca says he's watching the Rangers versus the Preds. Stephanie Hoover, Amanda here, question mark. Rangers got a penalty. Okay, thanks, Rosca. There should be Stephanie says there should be a spot for me right in the middle.
Hey,
There's
We can
always,
another chair up in
always
here.
an opportunity.
welcome to any
Yep.
time, Steph. Feel free. Feel free.
We still got room. We can slide a couple chairs down.
Of course we can.
John Gill says, is Ovechkin a cherry picking goon? Yes.
Oh, here we go, boys.
Stephanie Hoover
face-off
says
time.
45 minutes. They hand you a playbill at the entrance. Oh my God, there's
The
so many
Flyer
comments.
season is officially underway.
It is, man. The first official face-off of the Flyer season.
Yep, and you guys
One
won the
step
face-off,
towards the
so-
cup.
We
So-
usually win face-offs. It's
Yeah.
holding on to the puck is our problem.
Yeah,
I'm very interested in the line combinations this year.
I am too. I looked at
Ooh,
the
I like that. I like that second line.
that second line does look nice.
That third line is going to be good, too. Mikhail Vorobiev,
Yeah.
I like that kid.
Yeah, he had a great preseason. I know Maddie was pretty high on him this
He
preseason.
was, man. He came out of nowhere, too. No one even knew who the hell he was until all of a sudden this training camp. I'm like, hey, guys, by the way, I'm going to make the team this year.
Yeah, him and Corbin Knight, I think, were 2 of the best players that impressed me this preseason. I think they're going to be vital, especially in terms of this team really lacking on penalty kill last season. Of course, Knight starts off injured, but hopefully he'll be back soon.
He could be. I mean, also, Travis Sanheim is back up playing in a Flyers jersey, so hopefully he can remain a Flyer this year. And
I'm getting there, Tom. I got so many people talking right now. Yeah, I got like 6 more comments left, so let me just get through these real quick.
go ahead.
Jeff said this Rangers game needs to get over, so NBCSN
Oh,
gets switched to
shit.
the
Oh,
Flyers
wow.
game. Ches Hernandez says Criers, they blow, dog. He's got a Steelers picture, so I'm assuming he's a Pittsburgh fan.
Clearly not watching the NHL ever.
He says Ches also says gritty instead of Stanley. Okay. Tom Arnone says, "What the hell's a Vespi? That's not a real thing. Oh my God, did someone say gangbang?" He goes, "I'm just kidding."
Fabulous comment.
Oh, man.
He goes, "I'm just kidding. Mike Klankoff, don't skip that comment. I got you. I got you. Don't worry. I wouldn't do that." Stephanie Hoover says the lines are ... and then 1A, 1B, and then the 2. So that's all the comments for now. Keep them rolling in.
Please feel free.
I'm out of breath, but I got through it.
I know I was half joking online, but I'm serious. I think the Flyers could have arguably the best top 6 in this division. And I know that's going against the Caps, the Penguins, even the Blue Jackets or whatnot. It's a tall order, but, I mean, this team got deeper, and signing back JVR is just huge.
Oh, my God.
Huge.
What happened?
Sorry.
You could get it. You could get that one. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Frank Vespi says, get the gangbang chants going. Tom Arnone comes back with, took the red eye home. Vespi goes, gangbang, gangbang.
Let's go,
Jesus.
gangbang.
Hey, my parents are watching this. No.
Hey, you watch your fucking mouths. There are children watching.
Goodness.
Exactly. We were rated G.
Rated G.
We went from being rated G to
gangster.
PG-13 to R to now we're not even.
We're in the triple X period now, folks.
Not quite there. I'd say like double X. And,
double X.
Great scoring chance there.
Oh man, damn it, Fleury! Come on, suck like you usually do against the Flyers.
That's Michael
Come on.
Vorobiev.
So since we don't have a goal yet for the Flyers, who's going to be your first goal tonight if they do
If it's
score?
looking like this, it's going to be Vorobiev. Look
Look at that.
Watch.
Great pass.
Wow.
And
Right there.
If only he could get his stick on it, but he was
Yeah.
being defensed pretty
Little
well
into
on
the
that
skates
one.
there, yeah.
It was a good setup, though.
Absolutely.
Things are looking good early. Good transitions up and down the ice.
They are. Ian LePerriere giving some instruction to JVR, who played with JVR, oddly enough. Isn't that
Pretty
funny?
It's like Mark Recchi, too. I mean, Mark Recchi's coaching guys that he played with on the
Jesus
Stanley
Christ,
Cup
Frank.
team.
Oh, God. Frank, enough with the gangbang.
Okay,
Rated
listen,
G for
we're
gang.
not-
Oh, Jesus
God.
Christ, Frank.
All right, so
That's
far.
what Frank's saying.
Frank
This is what I have
okay.
to read.
So if we're keeping track, Frank has won the comments so far. Keep them coming in. Maybe somebody can take that from him. So far,
Oh, my
Frank's got the
God.
title.
I like
officially.
this next comment by Tom. He goes, "We need all 4 of you guys weekly. Let's go."
Ah,
game.
yes.
I mean,
Hell yes.
I love the energy right now, and it's awesome. I was saying this, as much as I hate the Flyers, I love the fact that we actually get to watch a game live right
Yes.
now
Yes,
while
true.
we're doing the show.
And you get to see me get
mean-
real pissed off if something bad happens.
Yeah.
Whoa! And then do we have a penalty on that?
No.
No. Okay.
I got a beautiful idea. I'm going to get that blow-up airplane pilot from Airplane and
Nice.
set it up at my job so I could be here. Boom.
I like it.
Put it on autopilot. I love it. He had a name too. What the hell was his name? Damn it! I forget the name of the blow-up pilot in Airplane.
Oh,
If
Frank,
somebody
you
can
definitely
figure that out,
hijacked
let us-
it.
Frank will probably figure out who the pilot's name
Let us
is
know,
from
Frank.
Airplane. Yeah, because he'll probably know that. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm right now set up for Las
Oh,
Vegas.
Oh.
No, they
That
didn't
must have hit
score.
the
They
post.
hit
What
the
a save.
post.
That was a good
Wow.
save there by Elliott.
I think the first one hit the post, then Elliott didn't lose track, and he made the second one on the save.
See, that's why the Vegas Golden Knights are going to be scary this year, is that in terms of the chemistry that Marchessault, Carlson, and Smith developed last year, you got to expect that that's only going to get expounded upon this season. And
yeah.
they're a scary line. I mean, of course, they're going to get every team's best matchup, so they're going to go up against stiffer competition, but they're always going to be on the ice in those prime situations, power play, 3-on-3 in overtime, basically when they can really put the biscuit in the basket.
Yeah, and it's crazy, especially with this. I was saying this a couple weeks ago. This team is so deep.
Ooh,
They
good
have.
save.
They don't even have 2 of their best players on the first line. They put Max Pacioretty on the second line with Paul Stastny,
Which is
and
awesome.
William Karlsson's on the first line with.
Trying to catch up to it,
Marchessault
he
and Smith.
Yeah.
Ooh, good recovery though.
Oh, they
Flyers.
I just know that because
Oh,
I played
no,
it in
never mind.
DFS
Offsides.
tonight. Yeah.
It was
I don't know if
offsides.
Little
I don't
hedge
know if
bet.
that was
It's
offside.
autopilot,
That's
just so everybody knows.
Auto.
The name of the pilot is autopilot.
Okay. Thank
Makes sense,
you.
right?
Was that Frank who chimed that in, or was that somebody else? Whoever it was, thank you.
No, it was Frank.
Wow. It was Frank. Okay.
It was Frank.
Wow, that was so close to scoring. It wasn't funny. And what a save by Elliott on the second try. It hit the inside of the post too.
Yes, it did.
Inside of the post and bounced
to
out.
Post to post, yeah.
Post to
Those ones
post.
are scary. It's like how does the math even like add up?
But
for that
that's
to happen?
but you know
Like,
what? I'll take
know?
that as a good omen because usually when teams who hit post to post, usually they get scored on. Usually because that means your shots aren't going in, no matter what you fucking do.
Whoa,
Pacioretty.
this
But look at the skill from Pacioretty. Christ,
team is scary. This Vegas team is scary.
it is, man. They're gonna be frightening this year.
Well, it's the fact that too, like obviously right before the season started, they get Pacioretty, and then they get Paul Stastny through free agency, which is even scarier for a team that was
Check.
already good. They get even better. I mean,
Ooh.
obviously they lost a
Gotta lose puck.
component in Neal
Couldn't
last
get up
year,
to the
but
point.
Right.
they didn't change much from that, and they
No.
only
No.
got better in my opinion. So
Ooh,
They got Pacioretty.
good
They didn't give
strip
up much
right
to
there.
get him. They
No.
gave up Thomas Tatar and a couple picks.
who was a guy that they acquired late last season,
Right, at the
anyway,
deadline,
so
yeah.
kind of
Wow.
a rental kind of guy that
Right.
that they use as a bait kind of player. So
And you signed him to a 4-year contract.
Yeah,
So,
so, I mean,
you're essentially getting them for 5 years. And for me, that's scary to watch.
oh yeah, especially
You got to put up
being
with
a
that
fan
4,
of the
5,
Ducks,
6
yes.
times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're a scary team. Absolutely, if they could just stay disciplined. I mean, that's all they really need to do, which they were.
They
And
stayed-
they're tremendous on home
they,
ice, too.
They were very disciplined.
The crowd is
during,
loud. That's the problem.
Well, they built the arena very they built it with like really powerful amps. They basically went all fucking out for this. Anything that you could imagine from Vegas is in this arena. I'm surprised they actually don't have a slot machine on the ice.
Well, I'm sure
I'm really surprised.
I'm sure
I'll
there's
work on
one
that.
along the boards.
Oh, on the boards,
I'm
absolutely.
sure there's probably a couple along
Right in
the
your
boards.
seat? Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
sitting there, clink.
They have them
clink.
at the airport. Come on now.
Oh crap! What a bad move.
Wow.
Oh!
McCarron.
But Elliott made the
Oh.
save.
He's
Yeah. But I mean, Maddie, you said earlier or whatnot, and I don't want to brush upon that point. I mean, they do have to battle from going all the way to the Cup Finals, playing a lot of hockey last year. I know they improved, and your guys' points are valid, but still, that takes a toll on a team and coming back in or whatnot. I think it's a team that you can jump on early.
Oh, wow. What a
Until then.
shot.
Marchessault.
Yeah, there's much salt. Yeah.
Well, what happened there, the Flyers got caught changing because originally the Flyers shot it down and they thought it was going to be icing. It hit the post, so it was no icing. And so because of that, they get caught in transition. The Golden Knights push it back,
Wow.
and they've got all the time in the world. This was an earlier setup,
was-
but Elliott made a great save there. Elliott's really been making good saves, so this is just a really great shot from Marchessault. There's nothing he can do about it. He had all the time in the world. No one could
got
get
him
him or
short
get a
side,
beat
too.
on him.
That was a tremendous outlet pass.
It was. It was
But
a
watch,
good.
I think he got him short side.
Oh.
He did.
He
He
did.
did.
But what I think the thing was, again, they got
Twisted
caught.
wrista.
Yeah, they got caught. Again, Flyers got absolutely caught in transition. They thought it was going to be icing. Wasn't icing. No one was there to pick up Marchessault. You got to pay attention to when you shoot that puck down if you do. I mean, yeah, I know you're trying to get a quick change, but, if it's not icing, you have to stay on the ice.
And from the one preseason game I went to against the Bruins where they got up to a 4-0 lead pretty quickly, what I noticed is that the transition game for the Flyers is still struggling. I think they've gotten better in a lot of areas, but that's an area where I haven't seen improvement, and they're going to need to improve on that in order to make some noise in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, here's the thing, though, and you're correct on that. That was one of the major issues they had, plus special teams. That also has to pick in, but we haven't had a chance to see that yet.
Yeah.
But for now, though, what they have to do is here, they just have to relax. It's just like, hey, listen, yeah, they got the first goal, but it's in their building.
Yeah.
It's their season
was-
opener at home. They're going to try and get the first goal, and they're
Of
going to have
course.
that jump to their
that's
step.
exactly
you
what I
know?
was just going to say. I mean, the energy is on their side right now, obviously being the home team and, the crowd backing them. They're going to have that. They're, they want to prove something again this season, which, we got a long season to go, but
Yeah.
And
it's,
I think-
it's early. There's still, another 53 minutes left in this game.
Oh,
But all
my
I know
goodness.
is within the 7 minutes, Fleury now has more points than Tom Wilson this season. Fuck him.
But no,
We got just real quick.
Yeah, go ahead
we
for
just
it.
got a few comments rolling in here. Frank Vespi says, "Say guys, have you ever been to a Turkish prison? Hashtag airplane quotes."
oh, yeah.
He also wants to know when Brodo's going to pull a Frank Vespi and show the fam the jersey.
What a bad week to give up amphetamines.
Yeah, right. David Raska says Neil should have stayed with Patty. Not quite exactly sure what that means. Thomas Arnone. Hashtag Carter Hart.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say that was quick after Marchessault scored that. Let's
I
be
don't-
fair.
I
it was
was
a
gonna
pretty
say
goal.
I don't know how much blame you could put on Elliott there.
That
though.
was
I
just
mean,
a-
that was just
No, that was a terrible
bad,
transition.
bad change
And a great shot. Here's the thing, too. Elliott is a rental player. He's not going to be on this team next year. We all know this.
Yeah.
We're waiting for Carter. What were you going to say, Rob?
Oh, I was just going to touch upon Mike's point. I mean, of course, their home ice advantage is going to be expanded upon being, the home opener, the season opener, or what have you. But I think they have the biggest home ice advantage in all of hockey because when visiting teams come into Vegas, they stay on the strip. Tons of distractions. Now, the home team players, they're not in downtown. They're in Henderson. They're in Somerville. They're off the strip, free of the distraction. And there comes the nomenclature of Vegas flu.
Yeah.
You're in there, you want to enjoy Vegas a little bit and you're a little flat on the ice. And then, of course, naturally, the home team's always going to get that last change in, transitional type situations, and we saw that in the first goal.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, Flyers are one of the few teams that actually have that L on the record for beating Vegas at home.
They do.
It could still happen again. There's a ton of time left.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is only 1-0. As long as the Flyers don't get caught in their own zone too many times and they stay calm and relaxed and realize that it's only one goal, they'll be fine.
I like those active sticks. Nice.
They are making it hard, though, for them to get set up, which is good because you want the Knights not to get set up
No, you
because
can't give 'em time.
if there's one team that's dangerous when they get set up on a forecheck, it is the Vegas Golden Knights. And that's what was killing the Los Angeles Kings during their playoff run. The Kings had nothing they could do to stop them as much as they tried.
I think Simmons is playing a little too far down, in my opinion.
Oh,
but good
they
placement
did
there.
that.
Yup.
Yeah, that got called.
They
Shit.
got 'em. See,
So-
now this was the problem with the Flyers last season was their penalty kill. Would they rank 26 at the end of the season?
Yeah,
So-
they were terrible.
So this is going to be a good test right here. As JVR, welcome
back, Phil. Welcome
Yeah,
back
goes
to
in
Philly.
and takes a tripping penalty.
The Sin City bin.
So,
Oh, and that was a hit on McDonald. Why couldn't you injure that fucker?
he's like,
Seriously.
damn it! Why didn't you hit
Damn
him
it!
harder, Reeves?
Damn it, Reeves. The one time I want you to kill somebody and you don't fucking do it. Fucking ex-Penguin
wait.
piece of shit.
See, that's actually what kind of set up the goal for them is that they took McDonald out of the play. He went for a line change and then realized he had to get back. So, that
Yeah,
was-
it's
It's good analysis.
yeah.
Yeah,
first shift jitters. Everybody's got the nerves going. They're excited. They're trying to get that first shift out of the way, and once you get that first shift out of the way, things should get smoother.
Well,
But that was
absolutely.
definitely he's been in the league too long to make a move like that.
Well, yeah, I think what happened was James Van Riem's like, I think he was trying to go for the puck, and when he did so, he came down at the worst possible time, and he got. I don't know who he tripped,
29th.
though.
That was.
Christ, they're even
I
worse.
gave him a little
You
more
gave
than-
him way too much credit
Yeah.
there. Whew.
I thought they
Jeez.
were closer to the
Yeah,
bottom.
Me too.
Yeah, the penalty kill for the Flyers last year was not very
It was
good.
atrocious.
Yeah.
So
I thought
far,
they got
though,
better, though, at
hold
the end
on.
of-
So far, so good. So far, so good. They still got
30
one.
seconds in.
Yeah, 30 seconds in, though. I'll take that. I'll take a 30-second in a better start on a penalty kill than regular. Because usually by now a team scores.
This Vegas team is fast.
They are.
I think they'll be better on the penalty kill this year. I mean, I was alluding to Corbin Knight earlier as being a potential great penalty killer, not on the ice now. Maybe he doesn't even crack the lineup. Maybe he's consistently a healthy scratcher playing for the Phantoms. But I think he's a guy that does bring that skill set. And I think, I mean, I like a lot of the guys on the fourth line, like a Scotty Lawton needs to step up on the penalty kill.
He
Big
does.
time.
Oh, big
He
time.
does.
He just needs to step up, period.
Yeah.
Well, one of the
He's been a guy that's been undersold all his entire career thus far, whether it be because he was hurt or
not getting goals.
not even playing on the NHL team. He's had a bum rap so far. There was a lot of potential behind him, and he just hasn't lived up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far. I mean, sadly enough, he was actually the most touted forward prospect we had at one point before we restocked the system. So that should probably tell you a few things, unfortunately.
About 20 seconds left here on the power play.
So far, so good. We'll see how long it lasts, though.
In the official Philadelphia Flyers fan group, Max Fuller chimes in, will the Flyers win their season opener in response to the poll? He goes, not the way they're playing so far. Still a poorly coached team in his opinion. Not a Hackstall fan.
There's a lot of not Hack fans. And Elliott's got it. And we're also over with the penalty, so the Flyers have killed off a penalty. All right, so So far, good start for the penalty kill. Hopefully it stays that way.
Couple more comments as we're going to commercial here. The Flyers game, not us.
Yeah,
Don't
not
worry.
us,
We're not
so-
going anywhere.
No, no, no,
We're
no.
not
We're not going
leaving
anywhere.
yet.
Don't panic. Don't panic, folks.
Joe Povia, you know it's hockey season when Pov's back on camera.
Yeah.
Frank
Joe.
Vespi, apparently he's got some shitty hockey puns for us.
Oh, no.
Yep. He said, did you hear about the guy who got arrested for attacking school bands? It was March assault.
I get
Did
it.
you hear about the guy who got arrested for attacking parades? It was a March assault.
Are these all March assault?
Yep.
Boom.
Christ.
And Tom Arnaud, you guys laugh at one of Frank's jokes, and this is what you get.
It's not my fault.
So
He
we
put
know
a
the
good
cure.
comment in there.
So we know the cure.
Don't laugh at it.
We don't laugh at his stupid jokes.
Well,
Although they're corny, but they're funny.
no.
I gotta give him his credit.
Now, listen, the rated G for you know what that was the comment so far of the night. So unfortunately, we had no choice there.
That was great.
Jason Suppin, Hacksaw is a lifeless zombie behind the bench. He's a dud.
That's not
Bro,
true
we're
though.
10
He
minutes
got-
into the game. We're
he-
10 minutes into the season.
That's not true though. He got
everybody's
animated
gonna
during the
overreact, you know
postseason.
that.
He got very animated during the postseason. So I think he picks his moments when he wants to get animated,
Well-
and he chooses it wisely.
Like, I don't understand. Like, why is it a big deal if he's showing emotion or not on the bench?
I think
it matters what he does in the locker room in front of his players.
Right, true. And I think it's better for particularly a hockey head coach to not fly off the handle, to show that calm demeanor, because hockey's such a passionate sport. It gets the players' blood boiling. You want that calm, cool guy. Now, I know coming from the Flyers fan base, that might be a homer statement, but I would say that about anybody's coach.
Plus,
No,
also, like
look at Randy Carlyle. Randy Carlyle, so he doesn't show much emotion on the bench,
but-
but it doesn't matter because these guys are going to play for him regardless because he's showing that he's a player's coach.
Well, besides that, too, it's just like, look at it this way, though. Dave Haxtell has been coaching the Flyers for 4 seasons. Yeah, the Flyers have been in and out of the postseason picture, but they've been there. And on top of it, too, it's like, well, then who the hell else would you go get? Like, seriously, I've been asking that question a while. Who would you go get to replace Dave Haxtell? Right now, you go ahead and tell me, please. And you can't say Ken Hitchcock because he retired. So,
I think he's still in Dallas.
oh, wait a minute. He's still in.
I think he's
No.
still in Dallas.
He's
oh,
gone.
He did,
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
I missed that. But, I mean, the only person you can maybe say is Elaine Vigneault.
Oh, that puck went
But
out of
does he
play.
even want to coach at this point? Nobody's
I-
offered him a job.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
To go from the Rangers to being unemployed,
Which is
Yeah,
it's
Jim
kinda,
Montgomery is their new head
Jim
coach.
Montgomery.
yeah,
Oh,
which is-
wow.
it's kind of surprising that Vigneault does not have a job yet. Honestly, you know, I mean, he was always a solid coach, and
True.
Well, that's the thing, though, too. I think also, too, Flyers fans, they get on Haxtell for not getting fiery behind the bench because that's all Lavi used to do, was get fiery behind the bench.
True.
I was like, listen,
Show some jam.
here's the thing, though. Look at it this way. Did Terry Murray get animated behind the bench back when he was coaching the Flyers in the 90s? Not really. Ken Hitchcock didn't always show emotion. Very rarely did he. He only did when there was actual fights going on
Hey,
the ice.
They all can't be Mike Keenan, you know what I mean?
That is
It
true.
just it just boggles like it gets under my skin when people say that he doesn't show any emotion behind the bench. He doesn't need to show the emotion behind the bench. He needs to show the emotion to the players, and he does it whether we see it on camera or not.
True.
Oh,
He definitely does it in the
trying to make
locker
that
room.
Pass. Drew, oh, man, he's trying to get it. He couldn't get it. He was getting checked too well.
pretty good defense.
That was a good try, though.
See, I like you gotta love the line of Couturier, AG, and TK, but it's a little soft in terms of not having that defensive forward in connecting spot. That's why you see Rappel put on that first line here and there or whatnot, because a lot of times
a
it's
3-on-1?
yeah.
Oh,
here
Drew,
you go.
here's a chance. Oh, he's
Oh,
gone.
they scored.
Yes, there we go.
Oh,
And
welcome to the NHL,
Lindblom.
Oscar Lindblom.
He did. He
Oh.
just absolutely deked Fleury right out of his pads and then passed the puck, I think, to Nolan Patrick, who got the goal. Did Lindblom actually just did?
Nah, he scored it.
Oh, he
Lindblom.
did. He just
Yep.
On the
poked it in.
backhand,
Okay,
yeah.
he did backhand it in. Okay.
It looked like he was looking past there, though.
Okay, yeah.
But
that's
we'll
why.
talk about a Flyer that had a phenomenal preseason, bringing in. He was the guy that I was most excited about coming into this season is Lindblom. I think he's really going to take off.
It kind of looks like
Did he?
Wow.
yeah, he banked it off a
Oh.
defenseman.
That was great. That's a great skill to do when you can just bank it off a D-man
Yeah.
and it went off his skate in.
Yeah, because that wasn't going in. if it didn't
No,
hit
that
him.
was not.
Little
that
punk
would've-
luck.
Yeah, that would have just rode the red line there. So
Couple
Hey, listen, takes a little luck
Big goal.
sometimes.
couple
Hey,
more comments
take
rolling
a
in
goal
here.
anyway.
Danny Ward, aging sharks mortgage their future and lose a bunch of rookie kids. I kind of agree. And you know what? There was a statement, and I hope the guy who
Oh, what a save by Elliott.
I hope the guy who posted on Ducks Nation last night, I really hope you're listening because I want to give you the credit that you deserve. He said the San Jose Sharks are like the New York Rangers of the 90s. Too many stars to really be good.
Well, shouldn't we be saying that also about Tampa Bay? I mean, we look at them and we're like,
Rangers
wow,
South.
yeah, pretty much.
mean-
But that's the thing, though. We look at them and they're like, wow, they're a powerhouse. There's no way. The past couple of years, they've been a powerhouse, and they haven't made it to the Stanley Cup.
Well,
in a
I think
couple
the-
seasons
I mean, you
now.
can make
Well,
that same comparison too, but
So
I think Tampa's, though, a little younger than San
But-
Jose. I think.
They
But,
are-
but still, though, I hear what you're saying.
no, but I'm just
completely.
saying, you look at all the power, and they're not doing anything with that power.
No,
except for
yeah, yeah.
winning their division.
That's
you
true.
know?
That's true. I mean,
So-
quite frankly, Tampa should have represented the East at least once or twice by now in
absolutely. I
the Stanley
mean,
Cup Stanley Cup Finals, and they haven't done it since they lost to the Blackhawks.
What was that, 2010?
No,
11?
no.
all right. So we got
Somewhere
David
around there, I don't
Raska.
fucking know.
David Raska chiming in. Andy
while
Murray,
ago.
which I think he meant Terry Murray, hasn't coached since he was in St. Louis. And then I agree with this statement wholeheartedly from Jeff Burrell. Lindblom is going to be a stud.
I believe that.
Stud.
Danny
Yeah, but-
Ward also goes on to say thanks. You got it, Danny, anytime. Keep the comments coming in as we watch the Flyers game live and react.
Don't
and-
even read Vespi's comments anymore. We're done with him.
Don't give him any attention.
Oh, God, he's back.
While we're still early in the
Uh-oh.
game, you
Daddy,
can still
that
vote in on
stranger's
the
back.
poll.
Yes, that is true. You can still vote in on the poll. It's 1-1 right now between the Flyers and the Knights. Goal from Oscar Lindblom tying it up. The Marchessault goal was the first one of the evening. And 6:57.
I think I was big to get that goal back and even it up sooner than later. You let it drag on, and then all of a sudden that's a 2-0 lead and a 3-0 lead, and then it becomes insurmountable on the road.
Plus, also, if the Flyers can stymie the Knights, if not in this period, but in the second period, and kind of calm things down, and the crowd's not 100% into it, and they can go up by 1 goal, they can take the home crowd out of it. And then that's when you can start to play your game a lot better.
I made a mistake.
What?
I read the joke.
Did you?
Oh, my
Did
God.
you laugh?
I chuckled at it.
All right. Well,
Damn it! Brian, you had one job. Jesus.
I'm not going to read it. I mean, I read it, but I'm not going to read it out loud. We got a game to concentrate on here.
We do.
But maybe we need a little intermission from
Maybe
the
a little
game while we got it
intermission.
going on. Read the damn joke.
All right, fine.
Well, I don't know.
As much
right
as
now,
I
they
don't
got
want to
action
hear it,
going
but
on.
read it.
They got
Shitty Hockey Puns Volume 2 by Frank Vespi.
Oh, Christ almighty.
This guy had to tell me this story about the time he went to the Lightning game with his girlfriend. After the game, he got head, man.
Stick their head.
Victor,
He
yeah.
goes on to say, all shitty jokes aside, so far so good.
Oh, wait. Show the jersey.
Take the
Do it.
take
Oh,
the
Do
Oh!
No, they couldn't see it, so it's not really a reveal.
Number 17 in your playbooks, number 1 in your hearts.
Yeah.
I understand you don't got your pants on and you got to be quick, but
He did like the $1 Million Man jog right across
That's
the
right.
screen.
I kind of want to see him. 'Cause
That's
obviously
what
we
I'm
get,
waiting
we
for.
get, we get a little delay, so I'm waiting for it to pop up on our.
Oh, don't
our
worry, it
screen
will
here.
pop up, and once it does, expect some comments.
Man.
And we got
And
icing.
there he goes.
We got icing, by the way.
So you know
This
what's
looks pretty
funny?
good.
Is mine's actually frozen on my screen right now, so I didn't get to see it.
What the hell did they say?
I'm kind of upset. Damn it.
All right, so all in all, a little analysis of what I've seen so far. A little sloppiness, little jitters, first game jitters, first shift jitters. All in all, everyone's playing good for them. They're playing solid for the most part. Let's see if they can keep it up.
I think you're going to see that too, because how many minutes are these guys actually playing with each other during the preseason? Not as many as you'd think, despite what was it? It was like 8 games, and there was like 5 within like a week period for the
Yeah.
Flyers.
Oh,
It seemed like.
whoa. Okay.
A couple bad turnovers I've seen too.
Yeah, that's one of the things that has to get corrected. But you know what? You're going to have turnovers. It's just just minimizing them. Oh, Christ, got to get this puck out of the slot. You have to get this puck out.
It's it's game 1 of 82. It's not going to be a perfectly clean game.
No,
I
but
mean, that's essentially what preseason for. It's just to, get the wheels back, get the wheels turning again, get the rust off, and
Yeah.
again, that's essentially what the first week of the season is too for the guys who didn't get a chance to play in the preseason.
It can indicate some problems, though, in terms of a long-standing problem with the Flyers, and that's shoddy defense in front of their goaltender.
Yes.
You know, that's something that, again, that you need to really shore up because you make your goal, you hang your goaltender out to dry when you don't clear pucks in front of the net.
Yeah.
Well, you just saw there that stat. It's 7 blocks to 0 right now for Philadelphia. So, I mean, the defense is doing their job right now.
They're making the effort, yeah.
Yeah, other than the
good to see.
miscue in the beginning of the game, I mean, they've been locking down in front of Elliott. So, I mean, that's a big plus for them tonight.
Which is fine. You know, you get as long as you recover. Oh, the Flyers kept that on sides. Nice.
Yeah, the Flyers just need to get the puck in deep. They need to get control. They need to get set up, and they can start cycling.
I mean, so far they've been trying to. They've had some moments where it looked like they would, but the Knights' defense is really good, so it's understandable that the Flyers are struggling to get that started right now.
Mm-hmm.
But to the Flyers' credit, they've been really keeping the Knights from getting their game set up, too. Yeah, the Knights have had a couple of decent passing plays, but just a couple. The Flyers have had a couple in their own right. So they've
Not
been
as much
pretty
as I
even.
thought they would have, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been a shooting gallery around the Flyers' net at all. So that's a good thing to take right now. Ooh.
Nope.
Oh, goody. Fell out on a skate right
Yep.
there.
Blew out a wheel.
Yep. Don't you love it when that happens for your team, but you hate it so much when it happens
Just
for you?
like that right
Oh,
there.
crap,
it
yeah.
just came back
And
the
it,
other
yeah,
way
it
there.
came back and bit us in the ass. Hockey
Got
gods.
cocky.
Yep.
Them freaking hockey gods,
Just had to
man.
say something.
I
man,
did,
you know.
yeah. I'm going to shut up for that.
That was a bad pass by Laterra. I would have just dumped it in.
Well, Laterra is Laterra. So, I mean,
He's probably up. He's on dope.
probably,
Coca.
yeah. I don't know, though. He's getting investigated right now.
I'm
Might
the
want to
kilo
keep
for
that
my
sound.
friends.
Oh, that was sent in on Flurry,
Wow,
but
I
I
don't
don't think
even-
it got it through.
nah, it
It
didn't
wasn't
at
even
all.
dangerous, but hey, you never know. Those could become dangerous if someone just pokes it right through his
You
five
just-
hole.
All you got to do is get the puck to the net. I mean,
That
you
is
know,
true.
That's where the magic all happens. So.
It is true, man. Ugly ones count just as much as pretty ones, like Oscar Lindblom's.
And gangbags.
Yes.
And gangbangs.
Yeah, yeah.
And
sure.
we're back to it.
We always wind
Back
up
to the
back at the gangbang, don't we?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
That sounded
You've heard
terrible.
of the chain gangs? We're the gangbang. That's what it is.
Sorry.
Yeah, you saw that too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
I'm reacting to
I have,
Vespi's comments.
Yeah.
I have to make Brodo do that at some
We got
point.
volume 3 coming soon, folks.
I'm sure we
No,
do.
we don't. We've discontinued shitty hockey puns by Frank Vespi.
Oh,
Sorry, Frank. Love you,
you know,
mean it, but
so much for bothering us at work, right?
sorry to bother you. I don't mean to be an inconvenience. Well, now you're an inconvenience,
well,
Frank.
fuck. Where the hell did that go? You give him an inch, he takes you a mile. Christ.
Hey-o.
I didn't want to go there.
This is too easy.
That was a good Senator Reeves there in the slot.
That was. Luckily, the Flyers though kept it away.
As soon as I, gave a negative towards their transition game, they started tightening it up
You
in
know
the
what's-
neutral zone.
But that's a good thing.
yeah.
But that's the thing.
Oh,
Once you
absolutely.
talk shit about something or somebody, that's when they do the opposite.
That's
Like
what you do.
I'll always predict something, and then they'll do the complete opposite.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
Right,
you'll
I thought-
see something 7 days in a row, and then one time you say something to somebody, they won't do it
Oh,
that
yeah.
way.
It's Murphy's
You know,
fault.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
watching the Ducks game, I was sitting there thinking, I saw all the line combinations, and I'm like, fuck, we're going to get smoked tonight. Think about it. No Kessler, no Perry, no Eves, no.
Did it score? It scored.
Andre
It scored.
Kasha.
Yes.
Simmer?
Welcome back, JVR.
I think
Or
JVR
JVR?
got that one. There we go. We got ourselves a goal scoring music
Oh, it was
right
Simmons.
now.
Hallelujah.
Simmons, Wayne Train, baby. It is already choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo. It's coming.
Well, this is why a lot of people were really bashing the Flyers for having Simmons and, JVR, who you signed to a lot of money on the third line. You make it deeper, and as well as I do, lines change with the weather. You're going to mix and match or what have you.
That might be JVR.
No, because I don't think the puck completely
No,
crossed the
I think
line.
it did.
What were you saying, Rob?
You saw it white?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying, in terms of, people were really putting down the Flyers for having JVR specifically as well as Wayne Simmons on the third line, but it makes your team deeper. And a lot of people were clamoring for JVR to be on the number 1 power play unit. I like how they're going to put JVR in the second, keep Simmer on the first, because he's better at cleaning up that trash in front of the net. Not to say that JVR can't do that. He's got a big body, but he's a little bit different of a style. By bringing in JVR, and then I really thought the Flyers were going to dish Wayne Simmons once they brought in JVR, but I'm glad they didn't, because last year you saw this power play 1 really carry the load, and then when it went to power play 2, it really dropped off. This year you're going to see a much more balance between the 2 power play lines.
Absolutely. And I like what the Flyers are doing here. They're trying to get their forecheck set up. They're doing their damnedest to try. Yeah. Again, though, the defense of the Knights, and kind of need to block that guy off from getting that puck out there, because that could have been dangerous. But anyway, point is, though, did they put that as an empty netter?
Yes, they did.
They did on the freaking That's not an empty netter, okay?
It's, you know,
I don't even
second day jitters.
Like I said, I think that was JVR's goal. I think that squeaked behind the line before coming back.
I
You
think
saw
it
some
did
white?
too.
I saw some white.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say, though, because the freaking bar will block you half the
Yeah.
time. Of course, Toronto has a couple of views we don't have. It's kind of like baseball. Like New York gets the bar. Yeah, you get a couple of views that for baseball that you don't when you're on the broadcast. So I wouldn't be surprised. Then there's a stoppage in play
Because it's the end of the period.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm
got
busy.
so excited.
I'm looking at the action right now.
Yeah.
But from what I got out of that first period, that was a very good first period for the Flyers. Yeah, the beginning of it went well for the Knights, but in a way, it's kind of a sneaky way to get the team out of it, because what you do is everybody wants to see them score first. Okay, you scored first, but you scored so early in the period that you start to calm down,
Right.
and then the Flyers start playing their game, taking the pace out of you. You can't get another goal on top of it. Flyers tie the game up. And then you're like, oh, shit. And then the Flyers kept them really calm, and now they've taken the home crowd out of that period by scoring that second goal right there. That is a solid way that you play that first period. You go down 1 goal, you come right back, and you score 2 more.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you do.
You got to love those last 5 to 8 minutes. Flyers played phenomenal hockey after taking, like you guys said, that they came out with Hellfire Brimstone playing at home opener. Absorb that. Okay, you let up a goal, but don't overreact and really take it to them.
But we've seen that a lot with the home teams. I mean, even the Penguins today scoring in the first 30 seconds of the game, and then we went down quick. You know, and obviously here tonight, Vegas scoring in the first 3 minutes. We saw the Capitals in Game 1 scoring 20 seconds. So, I mean, it's all the home teams getting up early. Obviously, the Capitals in Game 1 never went back down. But, you know, I mean, just like I'm saying tonight, the Penguins were one of those teams that, you know, they got their goal in quick, and then they went down early, ended up fighting back to get a win. But, you know, it's like we've been saying, it's just at home ice right now. But I wanted to go back real quick because I know we were talking a lot last year about the bottom 6 of the Flyers. And right now, having Simmons and JVR as your third line is a total upgrade, you know, compared to where they were last year. I mean, yeah, Simmons was down there at some point of the season. But to add a guy like JVR, who's 30-plus goal scorer, is going to be a great duo with them down on the third line.
Well, I mean, it was like I was saying during the offseason. Now you got a 30-goal scorer on the first line in Couturier and Giroux. Now you got one on the second line with JVR. Now you got one on the third line with Simmons.
Yeah.
That's scoring depth. That's how you score goals. That's how you win hockey games. You spread out the scoring on the 3, maybe even 4 lines.
And then you almost forget about Voracek.
Yeah.
Who can put 30 up, you know.
Yeah, he can, but he's more of a playmaker. He's going to set you up. He's going to be the guy that's going to set up JVR.
It's just something you have to do. I mean, there was times I remember seeing the Penguins put Malkin on the third line because it was just, you know, it was just something that we had to do, especially I think it was during the times when Jordan Staal was getting hurt. I mean, I think throughout a 2-year span, I think Malkin, Crosby, and Staal only played 2 games together in 2 years because of injuries and everything else that was going on. But it's just it's something you got to do sometimes. Spread the wealth. I mean, if you got,
especially if those lines aren't scoring, they're not producing at all.
If you got a guy like Simmons that could be potentially a first, second liner somewhere else, and you got him on your third line, you're going up against another third liner. It's just you're winning that outcome right away.
Yeah,
right.
So I mean,
and even especially against a team like a deep team like Las Vegas, that you know they do have a solid 1 through 3 in their own right. It really makes you like, okay, we can compete with their 1 through 3 because we don't have a weak line except maybe the 4th, but so's their 4th. So it's like we've got even keel with them when it comes to forwards. It's when you get into special teams, defense, or goaltending, that's when the differences start to show. And as for defenses, though, the Flyers' defense, for what I've seen, they've been doing a really great job of stymieing Vegas, and Vegas has had a hard time getting their forecheck set up. And to Vegas's credit, they've been doing the same for the Flyers, but that means that the defenses are playing even right now, and that's good. That means the Flyers' defense is progressing properly as well, and they're competing with a top team in the West like Vegas and doing well in their defense. The goaltending obviously is completely different. It's definitely favors Vegas, but you know what, though? It doesn't really matter in the regular season. You can have your starter out every single game, but he's still going to lose a game or two. It's impossible to be perfect. So,
no, absolutely. I like the transition game was just. It's like Rob said. After that first couple minutes, they really settled down and they started making a little bit smarter plays with the pucks. They weren't forcing passes anymore. I mean, you still saw a few here and there, but they really settled down and started to play a much better game. Let's hope it's only been 20 minutes, and there's still a lot of hockey left to be played. Let's just hope that, the good play and the good decisions with the puck, and, they can keep going forward.
And then the Flyers also coming into the zone. They've been stick handling real nice, real well. They've been doing a few little tricky moves right here and there, trying to get by the D-men. And they're setting up odd man opportunities. Not all of them work immediately because sometimes the Vegas defense gets back in time, but other times, like the Oscar Lindblom goal, it was a 2-on-1, and anything can happen on a 2-on-1, and the same guy who was trying to stop the 2-on-1 from happening winds up knocking the puck into his own net. So that's the way it can work, just because you're not going to immediately take a shot on Fleury, which is always a 50-50 shot that you score. Maybe a 70-40 at best, but it is the Flyers. So, to be fair, it's kind of more favoring on our side, just saying.
So
it's just the way Fleury plays against us.
Fleury has never matched up well against Philadelphia, and it's just a proven fact.
That is a really cool graphic, by the way, on the ice.
I'm surprised they even had the enough gratitude to put the Flyer symbol on their ice.
Yeah. So this is a question that goes out to everybody.
Sure.
So initial reactions when you saw your team's opening day rosters.
I didn't see too much differentiating from what we had last year, with the exception of a couple of young guys in there, like Vorbayev, obviously. And then, obviously, Sanheim is back up in the defense like he started last year but didn't stay. Those are pretty much the major differences, besides Knight, who's on injured reserve only because he is injured. But really, it's pretty much mostly the same. Obviously, JVR was a shoo-in to be a starter, so I don't really count that as much of a difference. Yeah. I would say that it's not too many major changes to the roster.
I was surprised Albe Kubel didn't make this team. He had a great preseason, but I guess, Hextall's philosophy, really maturate in the AHL before you get a full-time job with the big club.
Well, Pascal Laberge, too, but he's injured,
True.
So that was the other reason why he didn't make the team. But he had a really strong training camp, too.
True.
Yeah, the thing I said was holy centers, because Jesus Christ, Pittsburgh is filled with them this season.
And so are the Flyers.
We should if the Penguins aren't the best face-off team this year, then there's something wrong, because you look at the centers right now, we got obviously Crosby and Malkin, Derek Brassard, Riley Sheehan, and Matt Cullen, all on the starting lineup. So there's 5 centers on the team.
Dude,
there's no reason to be losing face-offs.
What the hell have they done? What have they ever done?
They haven't done
league?
shit, I know.
But you see some good guys miss out on opportunities when you're so loaded in center. I think a great example with the Flyers, I just had the name right on the tip of my tongue, and then it left already. I'm rusty, guys. Sorry. Jordan Wheel. I'm a big fan of Jordan Wheel and him not being, a healthy scratch, I assume.
I believe so.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That shows just how deep you are, and that's a good thing, just like Pittsburgh in terms of center icemen, because there's going to be injuries. Yeah. You're going to rely on these guys at some point during the season. But, talking about playmakers, I thought Jordan Wheel was a pretty good playmaker last year.
Yeah, I mean, he had his moments where he just disappeared for a while.
True.
But, when he first came up with the team, he was all gung-ho. Next year, he's there some days. He wasn't there other days. But, I think the idea of keeping him a healthy scratch for now or at least rotating him in the right wing position, I think it's a good idea to try and get his mind right, get him back to where he was in his mindset when he first came up, because he wasn't there last year, in my opinion.
Got it. Yeah.
I mean, overall, too, what I took out of after the opening day roster, after I saw it, obviously, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, again, were probably wanting Carter Hart. It's just like, again, we got to see a bit of him during the training camp. It's good that he gets to play every day because he's not going to play every day in Philly right now because Brian Elliott's going to be the starter.
Give me the overhead. Here you go.
I think
this is a Simmons goal.
It's debatable. It really
That's
very close.
It's very close.
It's very close. I say it's
I got
Simmons.
the damn iPad in the way.
Yeah, I could see why they gave that one to Simmons.
I'm going to say it's Simmons because I think it just misses going over the line.
Did it?
Oh, it did.
Oh, you saw it cross?
It
yeah.
did cross. Oh, okay. So then it
Oh,
is-
yeah. I saw that there on the edge.
That's so close. But I could see why they gave that to Simmons, though, because, I mean,
Well, they could change it.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they
absolutely.
probably will, but it might not be definitive enough to.
Still, though, even if it does go to JVR, still at the end of the day, that was set up by Simmons anyway, just getting right in Fleury's face. Fleury really couldn't make a play as well as he'd like to have on that shot.
Yeah.
Real quick, my initial reaction when I saw my opening day roster was, holy rookies.
Yeah, he's young. Very young.
We got very young, very fast, and a lot of it's due to injuries or illnesses with Ryan Kessler and Patrick Eaves. But you know, we got Kiefer Sherwood, who made his NHL debut yesterday. What the hell's his
What's the kid? The
first
kid
name?
that scored the first goal. His first.
Yeah, that's
game.
who I'm thinking. I can't think of his first name, but I don't even know how to say his last name. Comtois.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I remember hearing that name.
But he made his NHL debut.
I want Rob to pronounce that one.
He's in the top.
Kumquat?
Kumquat?
Kumquat. There you go.
He's in the top 5 of fastest first NHL goals.
Really?
It was 6 seconds.
Wow.
Off the bench, into the play, scores the first goal of the season for Anaheim.
Oh, there you go.
And then Sam Steele, who's the guy I've been waiting for,
Yeah.
made his NHL debut last night. It's going to be a young team. It's going to be a fun team to watch. It's going to definitely be an interesting team to watch with Luke Shen on the back end, which he looked good.
Pontus Aberg? Is that what you're thinking of?
Pontus Aberg?
Aberg.
No.
No, it's a different guy.
Or
They
is
just
it-
picked him up on waivers from
This guy.
Does it have an-
Max?
Max.
Max
Yeah.
Comtois.
It's
Comtois.
Comtois?
I think it's
Andrew
Comtois.
Cogliano, too.
Let me see.
Good player.
What's,
There you go.
what's his last name?
It's
You gotta
the-
scroll
go
more.
over.
Oh, I guess-
Comtois.
I think it might be Max Contoy.
I don't know.
It's French.
It's French.
It is definitely
Bonjour,
French.
that's all I got.
We are from
But I
France.
just
We sound it, right?
Damn French Canadians.
Yeah.
Because he's probably Canadian.
for some of the guys
We'll
that
find
are
out. I got
out, I'm okay with the guys that they brought in,
All
especially
right.
Sam Steele. I'm excited to see him finally.
So with that, we'll get Mikey's reaction to his opening day roster on the other side. But we will say goodbye to Facebook. I know you guys probably don't want to say goodbye.
Hell
but don't
no.
panic, though, because there will be a link
Give
in
us
the
the
comments.
extension, Tom. Come on.
There is a link in the comment, though, for you guys to click over there and watch us for the rest on YouTube. So that way you can continue to get our live reactions for the second period on the other side. But this first portion of the Hockey Happy Hour was brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. Gentlemen, you don't want to get caught with your pants down like Brodo. Do yourself a favor. What? Mike said you weren't wearing any pants, so I'm just continuing this comment.
Out of nowhere.
This is too much fun. Anyway, so don't be like Brodo. Don't get caught. Let your pants down. Be ready. Be prepared for tax season. And call Gibson Mayer. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. We thank you for joining us on Facebook as well as Twitter and as well as Instagram. Thank you all so much. Please feel free to continue to watch the rest on the other side on YouTube. Until then, we'll see you right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the Real Talk Studios here in Manny from New Jersey. We're getting ready for the start of the second period as it is 2-1 Flyers over the Las Vegas Golden Knights with goals that is still being debated. I believe it's going to officially be James Van Riemsdyk's goal now with the update that the puck crossed the line. And then on top of that, too, a goal earlier from Oscar Lindblom. And that made it a 2-1 game for the Philadelphia Flyers. The Knights got their goal from Marcia Salt. And Hockey Happy Hour is brought to you by Sports Outlet. For all your sporting needs, look at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-939-2030, and they're showing Gritty right now. And you
God,
can
that's scary.
And you can email them at
nightmare.
sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at
that thing's just
www.sportsoutletinc.com. There, he's doing a sexy pose, and then he does the little creepy wave. Oh, my God. Maybe I'm starting to see the brilliance of this, actually.
What the fuck was that?
That was the creepiest thing ever, but it was so awesome for this time of the year.
It's like if you made Ron Jeremy a hockey mascot.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's fucking
I
great.
just threw up in my
man.
mouth.
Let it hang, Gritty. Let it hang.
Dear God, that's the last thing he needs to do is let anything hang.
So actually, there is a GoFundMe campaign to have him euthanized. I am not even joking.
Wow.
But I think it
Holy
was up to a K, by the way, last time I saw it. But anyway. So quick update too before we get deep into the second period here. Updates around the league right now. The Stars are crushing the Coyotes 3-0 in their game, which I don't think is any real surprise to anyone. The Colorado Avalanche are leading the Minnesota Wild 2-1, and the Jets, they absolutely smoked the St. Louis Blues 5-1 in regulation. The Blackhawks and the Senators, that one was a thriller. Went to OT. The Blackhawks got the W, though.
Battle of the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, pretty much. And the Nashville Predators and the Rangers, who were on NBCSN earlier today, they actually were a 3-2 victory for the Predators. And a final in OT as well for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They defeated the the Detroit Red Wings.
Close enough.
3-2 in overtime. Yeah, they're right next door. And also the Bruins smoked the Buffalo Sabres 4-0. The Penguins defeated the Washington Capitals 7-6 in overtime.
Damn, barn burner.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And also the New York Islanders won in overtime against the Carolina Hurricanes. Another bottom of the barrel matchup right there.
That Boston game, though, that's disappointing considering how much I built up Buffalo a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And just see him put up a big goose egg on home ice opening night, it's
funny
incredibly disappointing.
But it is against, like, Boston and Tuukka Rask, so it could have been one of
Well,
those things.
Rask wasn't even playing. It was
he
Jaroslav
wasn't.
Halak.
Oh,
Yeah.
Halak. Well, Halak is still a solid goalie, though. So, I mean, he could pull up a goose egg every once in a blue moon on a team.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, that was surprising, though, in the fact that Boston loses 7-0, comes back with a rebound of
Christ.
winning 4-0
Okay,
tonight.
this is not how you start the second period.
Ovechkin has 2 goals on the season.
Oh, he has 2. Okay.
Okay, so the Flyers
Oh,
allowed
she's
the
got
Knights to get on
3.
their forecheck.
Yeah,
Not a
Oshie
good
had
start.
2 goals tonight.
Letang put up 2 tonight for Penguins.
Yeah, he had 3 points tonight, and I believe, like I said earlier
So
in the
did
show,
Gensel.
Gensel's the man. Yeah,
Well-
like he is taking over that team.
Letang,
Honestly, and I love
Somebody's
it.
going to need to at some point.
He's
Letang-
only 21 years old, 22 maybe this season.
well, Letang, didn't he break the record, right?
Yes, I believe tonight he did break the record. If not, then he tied with Paul Coffey for
good read by Patrick.
most points by a defenseman in Penguins history. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Either
Forecheck
one
being
more point
strong
or
with
it's
the
a
puck.
tie. So, and then we got a Flyers power play here. So,
Oh, good. So Eric Hall. Oh, it was a slash that got called on Halla. Okay, that's a little
bit of a weak.
ticky-tacky.
weak,
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's ticky-tacky at
mean,
best. Yeah,
if
but
you're gonna earn
hey,
a slash, break some fingers or something.
I'll take
Hey,
it.
listen,
Hey,
if
I'm
the
taking
stick-
it. I'm taking it though. I'm
If the
taking
stick
it.
touches the hands, it doesn't matter how
Yep.
hard it is.
That's
That's the
true.
rule.
All right, so
Yeah.
the Flyers power play for the first time. We're gonna see it this year. They were 15th in the league to finish it off. Bit mediocre at best,
Yeah.
but middle of the pack. They usually finish there. for their power play.
Yeah, which is surprising
unfortunately.
because you think of the names on this power play, and they should be doing a lot better than where they were last year.
But what it was is you're getting all the production from the
there.
PP1 and not the PP2 here, and I
Which
think you're
is-
going to see them go up in the rankings because of a stronger effort
Yeah.
from their second power play line.
You are correct in that.
And that's what makes the Penguins' power play so good is that it's spread out. I mean, our first power play alone has Letang.
Come on,
Crosby,
Drew. You got to take that
Malkin.
shot.
He does.
Kessel.
Why do? No, there's a shot.
what a
and
save.
Fleury
Didn't
got
get
it.
through.
All right, hold on. Recover it.
was a
Recover it.
hell of a
Yeah,
save
G's
there.
got to shoot. Come on, shoot more. Christ almighty, Giroux's just going to hold this puck forever?
Come on, boys. You got to communicate out there. You got to get it done.
Thought we were at the Wells Fargo for a second. Shoot!
I know.
I mean,
I think
Drew had plenty of space. And
He did.
Should have taken that one.
He's got such a good shot, too. It's like
Lollygag.
he's just wasting it. He's not
Yeah.
shooting it. It's like,
Got a forward without a
right
stick,
now,
too.
I mean, he's got –
dude,
I don't mind good passing, but at the same
There it
time.
is.
There it is. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
There
no,
it
that's
is.
scored. It's scored.
It is
Yes,
scored.
we got it. Yeah, all right. 3-1, baby.
Simmer.
3-1. There we go. Wayne Train. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
man,
That's
I
right.
I
That's
thought
what
that
it's
was
all
about to be a
about
hell
right
of
now.
a save right there.
It
He
looked
almost
like
got
it was. It looked like it there for a minute.
Yeah.
There we go. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Flyers coming through. It's starting to look like the game that they had in Vegas.
Can I get an amen?
Yes. Here you see it. Oh, okay. So
Geez, that voice was almost as scary as Gritty. Don't do that again, Poe.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, he almost flubbed the pass.
Oh,
And it
my
just
God.
slipped through.
Wow.
No, but you know what? This was actually a good thing here. He got the puck rested on his stick, and he waited to take the shot because by that point Fleury's down.
Yeah.
So Fleury can't do anything, and he tries to power that puck through. Sometimes that can happen on a goalie. Now, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does. It can get through. So I think Simmer did the smart move, and he didn't immediately shoot it because he wouldn't have gotten any elevation from flubbing the pass anyway. So I think that worked out in the best. It worked out for the best.
It absolutely did. You get the power play goal out of it. And like I was saying earlier tonight, Jake Voracek's a passer. He's not a
is.
shooter. First of all, his shot is ugly and it's really inaccurate. But his pass, his vision on the ice when he's there, that's a beautiful pass. Now, I mean, it's a shame that Simmons couldn't one time and slam it in the net. But, you know, it was a beautiful pass. His vision is there. Everybody wants him to have 30, 40, 50 goals a year. But guess what? You're not getting that from Jake Voracek. You're going to get 45, 50, 60, 70 assists from him.
Yeah, you know, and that is more of his game. To your point, I definitely
good
agree with you
good
there,
catch by
opposed to what I
Elliott.
said before. But I still think this is a guy that could put 25 and 30 in because I will disagree. I think he has a little bit better shot than you're giving him credit for, especially with the wrister off the edge. But, you know, hey, we'll agree to disagree on that.
Well,
one.
here's the
Always.
thing. Here's the thing.
Always.
I think Jake. Obviously, he's more of a passer. Look at his career stats. He's got 400 assists. He's got 400 assists and 175 goals.
2 tonight.
Yeah. So hey, he got to the 400 mark.
Yeah. Quite impressive.
He can cross 500 if he keeps this shit up.
Check mark for Brian Daly.
And that's one for me. I'll take that.
Absolutely.
That gives me 5 over the last 4 years.
I mean, that's all right. One day
Go-
you'll break the double digits at some point.
One
One day.
point,
One
I
day.
will.
We'll get there. But going back to real quick, talking about the power play and stuff in the second line, you know, just with the Penguins having Derek Brassard as a second line center with a guy like Gensel and and Brian Rust with a guy like Justin Schultz who took over the first line defense when Letang was down, and then either between Mata or Dumo they'll put as a second defenseman on those lines. So I mean it's basically 2 first power plays,
Ooh, good stop by
back to
Elliott.
back, which is why they ranked number 1 last season. So
Yeah, you
it's a
definitely
good
don't want
problem
to
to
take.
have.
You don't want to take foolish penalties against the Penguins. That's for sure.
absolutely.
No.
And we scored our first goal tonight. Actually, I lied. We did score a power play tonight. Our first chance of the season we scored on. So came alive pretty quick. So
1 for 1.
they end up having another one, which the game winner
As they
from
say.
Letang was actually a power play goal as well. Actually, yes, I think it was.
As they say, that's batting 1,000 in baseball.
Yeah.
See,
Take
Exactly.
100%, even if it's for a day.
yeah.
It's for real. He gets to wake up tomorrow morning and say, "Hey, my power play's at 100%. What's your power play at?"
Doesn't matter
Oh,
as long
it's
as you
not?
get the win.
Fuck you.
Honestly, though, You can keep all the fancy little fucking stats you want. All that matters is if you got the 2 points. That's all that matters at the end of the day, which they did. So it doesn't matter that they got a fancy stat on top of it. They got the 2 points. That's all that matters.
That is all that
Hey,
matters.
2 points is 2 points.
Listen,
man.
I'm not. I'm gonna hate them soon. Don't worry. It's
Oh, no,
gonna,
I was
it's
snarling
coming.
at Mikey, not you.
Yeah.
While he wasn't looking.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I was looking down at my phone real quick. But let's make a weird prediction. Who's gonna be that team that starts off hot as hell and then finishes really bad?
Jersey.
Well, we know you hope that. I don't think they will. I think they're
No,
They're the third place
unfortunately,
team. They're the third place team in this
Yeah.
division.
Third
So-
place. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
damn! What a chance! What a chance! Almost the 4th goal for the Flyers.
You know, I'll say the Carolina Hurricanes.
Okay.
I really think they're going to get off to a hot start. You got a lot of youth, obviously, on that team, minus Jeff Skinner now, who's out of town. But you bring in Hot Rod, Roddy Brendamore, coaching that team, not coming too far off. I believe his last season was 09-10, if I'm not mistaken. I think he retired in 2010. But still a good players coach. They're going to come out hot. I think they're going to come out scoring a lot of goals, and then teams will adjust, and usually young players will struggle to make that next adjustment. So I think they could kind of come back to the pack. But I could see them, getting off to that hot
Yeah,
start.
because I always remember the season was it Montreal went 13-2 to start the season and weren't even a playoff team at the end of the year. So I mean, it's just are we going to have one of those crazy teams that just they look hot, they're an unexpected team, and then they just fall off.
Man.
Is that Ghost?
Yeah, that was Ghost on that shot. But damn, man, I love this. The Flyers are just super fucking aggressive on this puck right now. They are not letting Vegas breathe. Ooh.
Not at all.
Bit of a hit, but really there was no effect.
Oh, and
I'm
then
gonna say Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, you know who my
I think
pick
it
is
should be
going to
Stars.
be? You know what? My pick is going to be Montreal. I'm going to say Carey Price is going to help elevate their game, but they're going to finish disappointingly. They might have a good hot start at the beginning of the year.
I mean, Dallas won. The Stars game.
Oh, they scored! Nice goal. Beautiful shot. And that one is coming. Is that Vorobyev who scored that?
Nah, it's Robert Haig.
Oh, that was Haig. Oh, never mind then. Duh, it was 8. But anyway, dude, Robert Haig, finally, Robert
Fleury
Haig
might be
showing
getting the
up.
pool tonight.
Man, this is Wells Fargo's West right here, man.
Yeah, dude.
They did well in the one game last year, too, no?
Yeah,
4-2, I
Yeah,
believe.
We
something
beat
like that,
them
man.
in Vegas. They beat us in Philly. So it literally is. It's funny. I always compare the Knights to the Devils of the West, that they're the most hated team in the West because no one fucking wants them there and they got a fraudish fan base. But on top of it, too, now it's like the Flyers are exactly like the Devils rivalry. We win in their building. They win in our building. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
Good
So far,
pass
right?
set up by James Van Riemsdyk.
It was,
Yeah,
and that was a
man.
beautiful finish by Robert Haig, who does
Should
have
be
a
his
nice
second
shape.
assist. How did he not get an assist on the Simmer goal?
I thought he did.
No.
They didn't credit that?
That was
No.
just hot, yeah.
Look, this is just beautiful right now. The way the Flyers are playing the game, they're super aggressive on the Knights. They're creating chances for themselves. They're not playing bad transition at all. Even when the Knights get chances, they recover and they get to that puck as soon as
And
possible.
playing in true Flyers fashion, really strong physical hockey. We saw at the first intermission, the hits 20-8 in favor of the Flyers.
Absolutely.
That's phenomenal.
Right now, the Flyers are bringing fire right now to the Knights, and the Knights really are not. The Knights are trying to respond, but the Flyers defense is doing a real good job of just keeping that tempered and just playing solid defensive hockey right now.
Yeah.
So Van Riemsdyk, that's his first assist of the night, which is weird. Vorobyev got his first assist. And the Flyers, once again, they got a turnover here in the Knights zone from Raffle. Oh, tried to center, couldn't work, but they go back to the point, which isn't bad. Oh,
Wow.
he scored! Oh,
Deflection.
there we go. A deflection goal. It's now 5-1 Philly. I think Fleury is getting the yank.
You got to at this
He's
point.
going to get the yank.
The
Holy
game's not even halfway
shit.
over. They just scored 3 goals in this period
Holy
already.
shit.
Look at the amount of goals that are being scored in these games. Now,
I
mean,
know.
Is it the same situation in the NHL now that's with what's been up with the NFL? No more defense? Like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
it?
yeah, apparently.
I mean, we're going back to, what, the 60s of hockey where there was no defense and goaltending? Now it's just all scoring
Deflection,
again?
Scotty Lawton.
Looks
The,
like
the
it.
way that Fleury reacted, it had to have been.
It had to have been because it knuckleballed on him.
Right there. Yep,
Yeah,
because
it
that was going
knuckleballed.
towards the right and then went back.
It
Oh, the
either
terror
hit
then.
England or it hit Long.
No, it was definitely
Right there.
Long.
Long,
yeah,
yeah.
That was
yeah.
nice. That was a nice goal.
He
Trust your
tipped
eyes.
it.
Trust
Holy
your
shit.
eyes.
He tipped the shit out of that.
I'm surprised, though, that Fleury didn't get pulled there.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get the yank. I mean, I understand Fleury's your starter, but it's like,
But then again, I mean, the Capitals, I mean, they were in a game right now. Obviously, Vegas is not in this game. But Holtby let up 7 goals tonight, and he obviously, the 7th goal was the game winner, but he wasn't pulled at all after a 6-4 lead that the Penguins had going into the 3rd period. So
well, that's true, though, but it is Capitals and Pittsburgh, so
Yeah.
I think it would be a little different.
Yeah.
This is Flyers and Knights. There's no rivalry
Maybe
here.
No.
universally teams are being a little patient, being the first or second game of the season or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
typically
could be
you'll see more
too,
high-scoring
yeah.
games.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So I'm going to jump on the YouTube and give some of our
Feel
YouTube
free.
fam some love here since
Oh, safe.
we've neglected them all night, unfortunately. We're sorry about
Not on
that, YouTube fam.
purpose.
Frank Vespi. Oh, God, I'm not reading any of that.
Oh, God, we have a lot of Vespi comments. in
David
there.
Raska, what's up, boys? Let's go Ducks. My man, Timothy Stows. Tim, what's going on, brother? I hope you're feeling good after that win last night. Ducks won last night. Joker 23, Flyers power play. Looking good so far.
Yeah.
Tim goes on to say, I'm liking the Ducks this year, and I see them as a 4th-place team. Maybe I'm wrong about the Ducks again this year. Maybe they are better than a 4th-place team.
You always pick them low, and they
I always
exceed
do.
your
Yeah.
expectations.
Yeah.
But I think that commenter was saying that they were on that power play when they scored. He was
Yeah.
saying that they were on the power play.
Or because of the goal, he was like, yeah, the Flyers power
yeah,
play.
definitely.
Yeah.
We could go either way. It's all
Either way.
interpretation on this
Yep.
one.
I mean, so far, though, hey, man, this has got to be feeling good for the Ducks Nation out there. We're putting a spanking right now on the Knights.
Put a spanking
man.
on San Jose last night, and that
Yeah.
felt good. Joker 22 says Simmons got 2. Tom Arnone, you.
Ew, that's his favorite line. I love it, too.
And then Joker 23 says, damn, 5-1. And
Yes, sir.
Ryan Broda with his emojis.
Brodo, feel free to translate.
I love the emojis.
He's too old now.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me
Hey, I'm not
that
the
this
oldest
was
one
gonna
in the room
happen, I
anymore.
wouldn't believe you. Yeah.
No, I did not
That's
think
a
this was
first.
going to be a 5-1 game either. If someone told me that this was going to be a 5-1 game, I would have.
11 different Flyers with at least 1 point in
Wait.
this game.
That
wait,
is
wait.
beautiful.
Let's go back to the second comment of the show. Greg put money on the Flyers tonight.
He did.
Right now, it's looking good for him.
Yeah, but
I don't want to jinx that.
Yes,
For my
please
buddy
don't,
Greg.
because I'm the one
Beers
who
on
convinced him
Greg.
to do
Beers
Listen,
on Greg.
Listen, I'm the one who convinced him to do this, so please, knock on wood for that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, what a second period. What a first, 30 minutes for this team tonight?
For a team that was at times inconsistent on their special teams, and so far they've killed off a penalty, they've scored a power play goal, and they have handled their business really, really well
Yeah.
for the most part. Right now, a 5-1 lead, that is beautiful for Philadelphia at this point. All I got to say is if this is a sign of things to come off of a Game 1 start that gets you on the right track, then the Flyers are in for a solid year. And that is hopefully what we got coming down the line from this team, playing a really good, solid, deep hockey with 11 different Flyers getting points on the board and several Flyers scoring goals. No Flyer has scored 2 goals yet, so we're not getting goals from just one person. We're getting it from a bunch of people right now. And that third line is already becoming quite a pain in the ass for the Vegas Golden Knights. So overall, I will say this is an absolute solid performance from Philadelphia right now. And hopefully this is a sign of things to come for this season and in general.
Yeah.
Because that
Very
would
well
be
could
nice
be.
to see.
Very
Well,
well.
I mean, obviously, we don't know what Game 2 is going to bring.
Of
but Game 1,
course.
you're gonna have your bad games
Of
because
course.
it's a young team. You're gonna have growing pains with guys like
Vorobyev.
Verbaev, and then Lindblom, being their first full seasons up here.
Right.
So you're gonna get growing pains with them, and then any other young guy you bring up. But the idea is, as long as these guys are playing well, don't be like the Phillies and jack up the fucking lineup.
No analytics here.
No analytics here, please.
I don't
Yeah.
think we need to worry
They're
about
playing.
analytics.
If the line's playing well, if they got good chemistry, don't break it up.
You don't have to worry about analytics here. You want to know why? Because the Flyers don't give a shit about analytics. I don't think they ever have, quite frankly. Actually, I think they did that one list. They had all the teams ranked by which ones do analytics, and
I can't
think
read that far.
and I think the Flyers ranked at least second to last. They just did not give a shit about analytics.
All right, so I don't think we did this yet, but I want to do this anyway, because especially since we got Pove here. This is a special occasion.
Yes, it is.
All right, so we're 2 days into the NHL season. Who do we have going to the Stanley Cup Finals?
Whoa.
Oh, we're gonna
Whoa.
do the early predictions already.
The way too early predictions.
The
I love
way
it.
too early
I love it,
predictions.
though. I love it.
All right, so I'm going to say Toronto in the East,
I love that pick, Maddie. I really do.
and I am going to say in the
Oh,
West.
Subban is in there.
Okay, Malcolm Subban is in. Who is he the brother?
Yes.
He's the younger brother of
Yes.
PK Subban.
One of them. I believe there's 3 of them.
There's another one
Jeez, they look
I
like
want to
twins.
say.
Twinsies.
I forget what the other one is. What his
wanna-
name is.
I want to say he's in Vancouver.
Is he?
Could be. But with that being said, though, my pick for the West, I am going to say the Winnipeg Jets.
Yes. I think we're right on point there, Maddie. Hollaback had a pretty strong game tonight. I think he had 43 saves is what I read. So, I mean, he's starting off right where he was last year. And, I mean, they look good tonight, putting up 5 goals, winning 5-1. But, I mean, a team like you said, Maddie, Toronto's a team that's we're going to have to watch out for in the East big time.
Absolutely.
And they look good. So
I'm going out on a limb right now. Whoever comes, if Tampa or Toronto escape the Atlantic, they're representing the East. Because as good as the Metropolitan is, honestly,
we beat the shit out of each other, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the problem this year.
there's
agreed.
that. But I also think Washington is not going to repeat. So I know they're going to get beat at some point.
No, it's
Very
tough
hard
to
to
repeat.
repeat.
Yeah, and on top of that, too, Pittsburgh, as strong as they are, they playing Toronto will be extremely difficult because of the fact that the defense has been a struggle in the past. I'm not saying it'd be a struggle this year,
Yeah.
but it could be easily exploited if they start to become an issue by a team like Toronto. So I think that could be a big issue going down the line. And as for Philly, I don't think the Flyers, if they get into the playoffs, if they get anywhere, I think it'd be semis most. Same thing if Jersey got in, it would be semis most. Columbus the same way. So it's really going to come down to those 4 teams: Tampa, Toronto, Pittsburgh, or Washington right now. So
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I really do like Toronto a lot this year. I mean, like I said, minus the fact that it took overtime for that win, they still got the W and they still look pretty solid. And you know, like I said again, Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg straight up, I could actually say is my team in the West this season. But East is definitely tough. I mean, I have a trouble obviously not picking my team because they got a lot of competition this year. And it's not going to be easy for Pittsburgh or Philadelphia in that matter. But
or anybody.
I like Toronto. I do like Toronto. I think I will go with Toronto just as kind of a semi-shock team.
All right, so you got Toronto in the East.
Next week might be different, but we'll see. We'll see how we'll see how things shape out here.
You know what we'll do next week? If a Flyers game is not on Thursday, what we'll do is we'll do a bracket. We'll do our early fucking season brackets because you know what? Why the fuck not? Let's
And by
just
the way,
go all out
my
with
team
it.
that I think is going to start off good and fall off is going to be Chicago.
Who the fuck is E-Swoop? Who the fuck is that?
Who
And it's
just
like
scored a touchdown?
yeah, it's like the second or third touchdown from Luck. I'm waiting for Ryan Grant or Naheem Hines. Anyway, sorry.
But the fantasy coming back.
Fantasy, it
Eric,
can piss you
Eric
off.
Swoop has 2
You
touchdowns.
see,
But what
it's
was I
okay.
gonna say? But yeah, so you have Toronto in the East like me. Who did you have in the West? Winnipeg.
Winnipeg as
Okay,
well. Yeah.
Brian, who you got?
I mean, it really is tough because there's a lot of competition out there these days. Everybody's getting better. But I think Winnipeg is definitely the team to beat in the West. They're just overall the best team in the West. You can argue Nashville all you want. You can argue a bunch of different teams, but Winnipeg is the most complete team from top to bottom, the deepest offense. They have one of the best special teams, and they have one of the hottest goalies in the league right now. So Winnipeg is my pick. And then in the East is tough, but I think this is going to be Tampa Bay's time to shine. You got McDonough for a full year now. You got JT Miller back on a full year now. Everybody's healthy and ready to go, and it's Tampa's turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. So Tampa and who again?
Tampa and Winnipeg.
Tampa and Winnipeg. Robbie, who you got in your early Stanley Cup predictions?
You know, it's tough to differentiate between Toronto and Tampa. I mean, you bring in John Tavares to an already stacked team with Austin Matthews, and, you know, I can go on and on or what have you. But I think you need time for it to come together a little bit. And I really do agree with Brian. I think this year is Tampa Bay Lightning's time to shine and get to the Cup Finals. They'll get to the Cup Finals, but I think they're going to lose to the Western Conference and actually have a Cup champion be out in the West. And a team that's not mentioned yet, just to differentiate our picks, I'm going to go with Nashville Predators. I mean, they play great defense. You got one of the best goaltenders in the league, and, you know, they can score. Do they go through droughts in scoring? Sure. But they definitely, when you play a defensive style of hockey, that's what wins in the playoffs. And so, yeah, Nashville and Tampa Bay with Nashville winning it.
I like it. Real quick, just for you guys picking Toronto, keep in mind, there's no William Nylander for now.
For now, but when he comes back, it'll be...
If he comes back. If they let him come back. You remember, he's holding out on the contract.
He is, but at the same time, too, though...
And it doesn't sound like he's about the team. He sounds like he's about getting himself paid.
Yeah. Well, listen.
And if I'm Toronto, I'm like, okay, fine, you do what you got to do, but we're gonna move on our game. We're gonna move on without you. We'll trade you if you want, but
well, that's the thing, though. Even if you have to trade him, you could get a lot for him, and it doesn't
No,
really
agreed.
matter. You can make up for that. So, really, even if William Nylander is gone, you still have John Tavares, Austin Matthews. You still have goal scoring. It's not exactly like it's lost. So it's like I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Marner, too.
The only real major issue I could see Toronto running into is maybe defensive issues. That could be the only thing that could hurt them at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Joker also thinks Flyers, Leafs, Eastern Conference Finals.
If it wound up being a Flyers Eastern Conference Finals, we probably lose. But you know what? I would take an Eastern Conference Final berth after the year we. That would be a great step in the right direction for us.
You know how I think the Flyers get to the Eastern Conference Finals is some point during the season, another team's starting goaltender gets hurt, and you trade Brian Elliott and you bring up Carter Hart to start.
You
with
could.
Stoli
It's
to
possible.
back
That's
him
a
up.
very good. That's
You
a very
could do
good
that.
situation.
Because that's the only reason why Carter Hart's not here is you're not going to have him sit on the bench. You want him playing every game in the AHL, and you're not going to get that with Elliott or Newby when he comes back from being injury. Stoli is a guy that's shown that he can play in a backup role and is a pretty good netminder himself. Little fisticuffs.
We got
A little stinky glove.
somebody was giving Andrew McDonald the
What'd you
stink
say
glove.
about my mama?
Oh, man.
You leave my dog out of this.
Damn, it's a
All right.
shame. It's a
Leave
shame
my little
this
Shih
show's
Tzu
gotta
alone.
end.
All right, yeah, so that does, yes. All good things got to come to an end, though. But, hey, man, from what we've been seeing so far, this is
ready, huh?
absolutely beautiful. And right now the Knights are just getting frustrated. They're trying to bait the Flyers into penalties and stuff like that because they're down 5-1, and they're not getting great opportunities right now. So they got to do something.
Already.
I know.
Wow, that went fast.
It went by so fast. Well, folks, we thank you for joining us for our live reactions here to the Flyers Game 1 of 82 for the regular season. As it actually looks like McDonald's going to the box, actually.
Oh, yeah, they're both getting roughing penalties.
Roughing penalties, I guess, offsetting minors. But with that being said, though, folks, we thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
We hope to see you next week. If the Flyers do have a game, we will cover that. If not, then we will fill out a bracket, our very, very, very early bracket for the Stanley Cup playoffs, because why the fuck not? Thank you all once again. Hockey Happy Hour is brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. For Matt Tsutsuti, Brian the Darkwing Daily, Mikey, the Penguin-loving Klankoff,
Yes, sir.
Brian Broda behind the boards, and the man, the myth, the legend himself coming back once again in the saddle again, Mr. Rob Povia. Welcome back anytime he wishes.
I got you.
Hockey's back, baby.
Yes,
That's
it
all
is.
I got to
Yes, it
say.
is.
Hockey's
Hell
back.
yeah.
Hockey's back. The Flyers are up 5-1 on the Vegas Golden Knights. Feel free to continue watching the rest of the game. We thank you all for joining us. We will see you next week right here on A2DRadio.com. Peace, everybody.
It's actually